Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're going to literally decode the architecture of our digital lives. We are looking at exactly how to build your digital castle, and maybe a whole lot more importantly, how to defend it from some very real modern-day threats. Whether you're running a massive business or just, browsing from your living room couch, the way your network is structured and the invisible enemies trying to breach it is absolutely fascinating.
So let's just dive right in with a question that honestly might make you a bit uncomfortable. Is your home Wi-Fi network actually secure? We totally take it for granted that when we connect our phones, laptops, or even our smart thermostats, our info is safe. But the reality of networking is that every single connection point is a potential doorway. And if you don't really know how your network functions, well, you don't know who might be walking right through that door.
To tackle this, we've got a quick 4-part roadmap. First up, building the digital foundation. Then we'll go inside the hacker's mind, look at how networks get breached, and finally wrap up with defending your digital castle.
All right, part 1, building the digital foundation. Let's establish what exactly is getting hacked in the first place, because you can't really defend a castle if you don't know how the walls are built, right?
You know, to kind of visualize the invisible here, think of a local area network, or a LAN, as the rooms inside your own personal digital castle. This is the limited area connection right there in your house or office, linking your computer to your printer. On the flip side, a wide area network, a WAN, is the vast landscape connecting countless castles together across huge distances. Actually, the internet itself is literally the biggest WAN of all, moving data all over the globe.
Right at the core of this whole landscape is the IP address. Every single device on a TCP/IP network gets this unique numeric address. And TCP/IP is just a standard protocol that lets computers talk to each other. But this address is entirely foundational. Without your IP acting as your digital postal address, zero communication over the web could exist. It tells the network exactly where to deliver the data, just like a postman dropping off a letter at your front door.
Now, we can actually get a lot smarter with how we structure all this by partitioning our network into subnets. Subnetting creates these specialized, isolated zones right inside our castle walls. Why do we want that? Well, it maximizes efficiency by cutting down on traffic congestion, and this is huge. If a malicious threat breaches one subnet, it can't easily spread everywhere else. It's kind of like sealing off a flooded room on a submarine.
Moving right along to Section 2, inside the hacker's mind. We've got the foundation down, so now it's time to shift our focus to the human element and meet the invaders.
Okay, so there are basically two extremes in the hacking world. On one side, we've got the villainous black hat hacker. These guys have malicious intent, they blatantly break the law, and they're usually gunning for your bank account or personal data to sell on the dark web. On the exact opposite side, we have the white hat hero. These are highly paid, ethical professionals hired to legally test a company's defenses with full consent so they can find vulnerabilities before the bad guys do.
But hey, the world isn't just black and white, is it? Right in the middle, we find gray hats. These folks break the rules and hack without consent, but usually without any real malice. They might just want to prove a system is flawed to be helpful. And then you have the red hats, or hacktivists. These are the groups who famously breach systems as a form of social activism, leaking secret documents or taking down sites to expose societal wrongs.
Let's actually map out the timeline of a hack, because whether it's a black hat or a red hat, the method is usually pretty similar. Step 1 is network enumeration. This takes hours, and it's basically finding out who is on the network and gathering targets. Step 2 is vulnerability analysis. This can take days of methodically scanning software for flaws. Finally, step 3 is exploitation. This is the rapid strike, taking just minutes, where they overpower that vulnerability to take control.
Which brings us to Section 3, how networks get breached. The narrative is accelerating now. We know the architecture, we know the enemies. Let's look at the actual siege on your digital walls.
Okay, get this, 50,000. As absolute proof that literally anything connected to a network can be breached, one hacker successfully infiltrated 50,000 unsecure printers. And why? Just to forcefully make them print out messages asking people to subscribe to a famous YouTube channel. I mean, no way, right? But if a baby monitor, a smart thermostat, or your printer is on your network, it can absolutely be exploited.
The scary part is that threats come in so many different forms. Attack vectors range from brute force attacks, where a script just mercilessly guesses trillions of password combinations, to drive-by downloads that force files onto your computer just because you visited a shady website.
Attackers can even steal the digital cookies from your browser session to hijack your login right out from under you. But you know what the most common threat actually is? Phishing. It is remarkably common and almost entirely psychological. It happens when attackers masquerade as trusted entities, like your bank, to manipulate you into just handing over the keys to the castle. And it's evolving fast. We've got smishing happening over SMS texts, and vishing, where hackers use spoofed caller IDs or voice calls to trick you into dropping your guard.
You know how Hollywood always shows those fast-typing hackers sweating while breaking through firewalls? Yeah, the reality is way simpler. They just trick you into downloading a Trojan horse, a file that looks perfectly safe but secretly installs malicious control software. Or they slip you a keylogger. That's an invisible program that records every single keystroke you make, silently capturing your passwords as you type them. They literally just let you do the hard work for them.
All right, let's turn things around. Section 4, Defending Your Digital Castle. We've seen the terrifying threats out there, but don't panic. This final section is all about the practical weapons and shields you need to survive.
You can radically upgrade your security today with 4 specific steps. Step 1, use a VPN to encrypt your data connections. Step 2, please stop using your pet's name. Create complex, unique passwords for every account. Step 3, beat phishing by always checking for HTTPS in web addresses and literally hit reply on suspicious emails to verify the real sender's address. And Step 4, log into your home router and update that firmware to patch any known flaws.
But here's the kicker, and please don't forget this. The most advanced firewalls on Earth are completely useless if you invite the Trojan horse in yourself. Human error is your ultimate vulnerability. Sure, this means carelessly clicking an unverified link, but it also extends to physical damage. Leaving your gear running during a massive thunderstorm, or, just spilling your coffee onto a network CPU can destroy data just as permanently as any black hat hacker.
I really want to highlight a quote from our source material because it hits the nail right on the head. There are no websites or networks that can prove to be unhackable. Even massive tech firms and government agencies suffer breaches. Cybersecurity is this eternal cat and mouse game between the white hats and the black hats. You really can never let your guard down.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'm going to leave you with one final provocative thought. Knowing what you know now about IP addresses, subnets, trojans, and human error, just how safe is the device you are using to watch this explainer right now? I highly encourage you to go check your own digital perimeter today. Update those passwords, check that router, and stay secure. See you next time.